Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Cardistrytalk. This is episode 58, and today I'm joined by Jason Chong. He's been on the show before, and I'm super happy to have him back on the show. We're probably going to focus a lot on Glass Refractions because that's kind of the most recent thing he's been a part of within the last week or two, really. So super happy to have Jason here. Jason, thanks for being here.
Yeah, thank you for having me. It's really cool to be on here.
Yeah, so it should be really fun. Might be a little bit on the shorter side since we've already talked about a lot of stuff, but just going straight into Glass Refractions, how do you think your moves and your style has changed since, Reflection of Light to your most recent kind of solo video?
I think the main difference is that in Reflections of the Light, I was mostly almost like trying to like. I feel like you can infer that I was trying to express certain emotions, but then in like Glass Refractions, I was directly kind of like aiming to like convey certain emotions, like with like specific moves, and like specific moves actually did just straight up aim to express that. Like there was moves like let's see, Animosity, which was just basically conveying anger in certain ways with like kind of aggressive like type of grips, and then you have Disorder, which is like anxiety with like kind of like the locking type deal, and kind of this very how do I say, like tense like type of flow that came with it. And then in Reflections of the Light, I think the only move that was sort of expressive was Elastic Heart, because that was the move I've been working on for so long, and kind of represents the struggle of like and I guess persistence, because of how the move was, and that's what it represented to me. But I don't think like it was as easy to tell from that, I guess, that specific move. And I think got better, and also it was aiming more towards the emotional side of things. So and that's the main difference with the moves.
I definitely think that kind of shows through. I think why a lot of people have really liked it and kind of really resonated with it is that it's just so different from what we typically see right now, and like you said, that you're trying to do things that really haven't been done too much in cardistry, with expressing emotions and kind of showing growth and things like that. So that's been really cool to see.
Yeah, basically, I wanted to show how they could possibly be used as a narrative device, and the different ways you could use moves in a video instead of just for it like appeal of the motions of it and stuff, and how it looks, I guess. And,
yeah. And that's something that like I think dancing and things of that nature can do pretty well. There's definitely stuff like we can take from those aspects to kind of showcase emotion. But it is a really hard thing to do, and it's impressive how far you've been able to go with it. I know I've had Matthew Boudoir on in the past, and he said it's like extremely difficult to convey emotions through cards, which is why it hasn't been explored too much, I think.
Yeah, I think I've talked to a lot of people, and a lot of people have told me it's like, some people have told me it's like impossible, and then sometimes that just kind of, that's why I wanted to make the video to almost prove it in certain ways, because I think it's fun to just experiment with just like weird things, like there even like there's some other moves in my videos that I think are super weird, like I have a one packet cut in the video. It's called Bubble Pop, and I wanted to experiment with like just like very obscure, or not obscure, just like things that I don't think most people would try to attempt to create, like a cut that doesn't cut, I guess, because it's one packet. And then and then the last move, I really like the last move of my video. It's called Resolution, and it's a deck closer move. So like the way the move works is that it closes into the deck, and I just really like that concept, and I think it really helps bring the video to, I guess, a resolution, just like the name of the move. And kind of funny enough, yeah.
With Glass Refractions, I'm just kind of curious how it was made from like a technical aspect. I know you had Rasul, which I'm probably butchering his name, help with filming.
Yeah.
Yeah. But what was kind of the technical aspect of shooting? I'm assuming at your house and at that building. And
okay, so funny thing was, this video originally was going to be 3 moves. I'm not joking. It was just going to be 3 moves. And this is like a year ago. I was planning to drop this video. It's gonna be with butterfly knot, cobweb, and this other move called synergy, which I haven't shown, which I probably will never finish. But and then I scrapped it because I really had I feel like I didn't really have a thing I wanted to say, so I kind of like pushed that idea off for a while. I think the most important thing with making videos is having, or for me at least, is having something you want to say. I think that really ties the video together, or at least if you want to make like a narrative type of style video, is having some sort of message behind it. And I think I only really was able to make it when I had this almost like this grand message in my head that I wanted to convey. And with Glass Refractions, it was mainly about change and also coping with difficulties in life. Actually the video references I don't know if you know like absurdism, like what absurdism is. It's like this philosophy idea by Albert Camus, but yeah, you can look it up. It's like a lot of the video is like basically based off that. You can actually see certain symbols that represent things like in absurdism, and the glass represents like the absurd, and kind of that's funny because that is like actually inspired by my philosophy course, and a lot of it's just like things that are very me. Like everything in the video is just very personalized in a way. It's almost like a representation of like my psyche and like the way I think in different ways. Like even with the music and the kind of weird music choice that is kind of different for Cardistry videos, or unusual at least. Sorry, I forgot. Where was I going with this? Wait, what was the question again? I was just like kind of like
just kind of technically how it was made and how it came about.
Oh, yeah. Okay. So, so I was supposed to make the part in my room first, but I had none of the moves down because they were really, really hard. So I ended up recording the parts with Rasul first, and basically I went down to Seattle to record with him at the library and the mall. And basically with that part, I basically just wanted it to be represent just being present and just I guess like present in the moment type deal. So I was just mainly focusing on I didn't really want like too much like kind of emotional shots there, because I wanted that to feel like just like you there, and then when you watch the video, it's like just you there. It's about the moves, because I think I wanted to just be about the cardistry, and then with the rest, I wanted to tie in how that brought me to the point where I was able to be present, and I think that's what the parts with the house, me at my house, was the process of me getting to the point where I was at the mall, essentially. But I was like supposedly in the story wise, that's supposed to happen last, but I ended up recording that first. So.
Mm-hmm. And how long did it take you to make?
Okay. I think I like spent like maybe like a month just like on and off of just like writing ideas of how like the story would go. I had a whole like flow chart of like the story, like of each like story beat type deal, and like a narrative, like, you know, like the narrative like plot line thing, had it like all diagrammed out, and then spent like a month on that, and then I finally got to the video, and I probably recorded for like, I spent like 3 days with Rasul recording, and it was like, I think like I recorded at first, and then the next week I came back for one more day. Like I think we recorded for 2 days, and then the next week we came back for a day, and then after I recorded parts in the room, and then I lost motivation, and then stopped for like 2 weeks or something, or maybe a month even, and then I came back later because I was struggling to get certain moves down because they were just really, really hard, especially like the one packet cut, because I couldn't get my deck to poop like in the very correct way I needed it to be, and I didn't want to tape the deck either, because I was considering like gluing the deck together, but I'm like, nah, I don't want to do that. That'd be a little disingenuous.
Did Rasul help you like in the home shots, or is that all you?
Oh yeah, that was pretty much all me. And then I edited the entire thing. Yeah. Yeah, pretty much just edited the entire thing myself. I mean, a part of why it took so long was 'cause actually I was like learning like things about editing at the same time because I was trying to like use it as an excuse to get better at film and editing almost. And I guess that was cool because I did get a lot better, and I think it kind of shows like in the video. I think I personally think the second half, like the color grading, looks a lot better than the first half in my opinion. But I didn't change the first half because I think it's all right for your video to be not completely perfect. Because I think I used to have this issue where because I think if I were to try to get it perfect, I would probably find something else wrong with the video and then take another month and then probably another month, and I think I'd just never finish the video. And I think it was good enough and I was content with it, so I was okay with putting it out. And I think it's all right for the things you put out to be not completely perfect because you're going to make something better later down the road anyways, and it's okay to put things out.
Yeah. I think that's definitely a common kind of feeling. As you do something, you become better at it. It's like you almost ship it, send it. Like the people say that you got to do that though. You kind of have to just at some point say this is good to go.
Yeah, it's good to go. Yeah.
Once you accept that, that's when you can start doing more videos and such. And
just better. Creating more stuff, and because or else you're just going to be stuck in the zone of like perfectionism and kind of just never moving because you don't want to make something that is not perfect. And I think that can be an issue.
Yeah, I think the editing definitely shows some improvement from reflections of light. There's definitely, I mean, for one, it's like way longer. It's about 8 minutes versus reflection of light, I think was like 3 minutes or so. But like you said, there's multiple kind of episodes within the video, and then there's also a lot more lighting sources. I like the LED lights towards the end, matching the colors to the decks. I thought that was pretty cool. How much thought was put into the lighting of everything?
Oh, quite a bit. There was a lot of like the color shots. I planned that for like a long time since like the beginning of the video. I wanted each move to represent an emotion, and it was like a lot of figuring out the video was figuring out how to make that work, or have the plan out of like the story for that to actually land, I guess. I wanted the red to be anger, and then the blue to be sadness. Yellow is like anxiety because it's like the alert color, yellow type deal. And I wanted black and white to be like monotonous type of a feeling. So yeah, and I kind of had like all the colors planned out, and then a lot of the lighting I tried to make it kind of like dramatic because I think I wanted kind of this dramatic feel for the video. Like I'll do a lot of the split lighting shot, and then throughout the video I kind of like learned different lighting techniques, but I don't think I was perfect at it, but I think I did improve quite a bit, and I think that was good. Yeah.
And like you were talking about earlier, you did use a lot of non-typical kind of cardistry music, a lot of anime music, I would say. I'm not exactly completely familiar, but I know I hear that type of music in anime.
Yeah, it's like J-rock. Like, you're right. There are 2 songs in it that are from anime. Now I just thought about it. It's from, I think, there were 2 of the songs was from, it's by Kensuke Uchiho, which is a silent voice, actually. There's like 2 silent voice songs in there. I really like that movie. I mean, I thought the songs fit, so I was like, okay, I can just use it. And the rest is music I usually listen to, actually, which is kind of like the shoegaze J-rock type deal. I think I wanted just the video to be super personalized, and that's why I just wanted to use music I usually listen to and try to like fit that in if it worked, and I think it worked out well. Also, I think it just makes me feel more passionate about the video because I'm using music I like and that it's very personal to me. So.
Yeah, and just on a side note, I've also seen the silent voice. If you're listening to this, just watch it. It's very good. Maybe have some tissues, but it's a really good movie. And you used a lot of music tracks in the video, I think like 7. I usually do like a section where it's like music recommendations. So we kind of have genres now of J-rock and J-pop, and obviously there's a lot of songs. But is there any bands in those genres that you really really like that you think you would want to share?
I really like. I'm gonna totally butcher this name. I don't even know how to pronounce it myself, but it's Hitsuji Bungaku. I really like that band. That band's really good. I know in Japanese it's it means sheep literature or something like that, because I can read it in Chinese, which is similar. But yeah, funny enough, I actually listen to a lot of music from Aslan videos. Like, dude, I get so inspired whenever I watch an Aslan video, because like it just like it introduces me to like a new like I guess like almost like type of music I don't personally usually listen to, but I guess now I listen to, because after watching a bunch of Aslan videos and stuff like Sampa the Great, MF Doom, or like Jid. I really like Jid nowadays. I listen to a lot of Jid. JID's really good. So,
he's always posting stuff on Instagram too of jazz recently, a lot.
Yeah,
a lot
jazz.
of jazz. So one topic we had that we wanted to talk about was kind of, and we've kind of briefly talked on it, is cardistry as an art form versus kind of a competitive sport. And what's your kind of thoughts on that? Where would you like to see cardistry go in the future?
And for me, I think the main thing is having fun. If you're having fun, then it's not going to be wrong, or it's nothing wrong with it. I mean, a lot of things I do is like mainly because I think I'll have fun doing it, and I do. Like making the video is actually really fun. Like, I think some artists have told me how like, I guess like it's like this like difficult process of just pushing yourself through. I'm just like, just pick things that you like to do, and just take your time with it. You don't have to like push yourself too hard, because I definitely took my time on the video, at least, and like I didn't push myself way too hard through parts of it. And I think that really made the process a lot better, and overall just a fun activity, I guess.
Yeah.
And it shouldn't be something that isn't fun. So I think definitely just like making things that you're passionate about and things you like is the most important thing. But on the topic of like, if like competitions should exist, I think they do. I think it's a good external motivation for a lot of people to create, and so yeah, I think it's an all right thing to have.
Yeah, there's definitely room for kind of both aspects. Like you said, with creating the video, you kind of took some time off and then came back to it too, which maybe if you're looking at it from like a competitive aspect, people might not have came back to it if they, or would have pushed through it and then burnt out or whatever.
Yeah, because I didn't want to burn out, and I actually didn't burn out. Usually after a video, I would just completely, like, that's what happened to me the last video, where during Reflections of the Light, I like completely burnt out. Like after the video, I like stopped posting for like a year or something, and I didn't post for a long time. And right now, I think I have like 3 edits I've made right now, but I'm gonna like post it within like kind of spread out, so it's not just like all clumped up in a post. But yeah, it's still making videos, creating. It's fun. So
yeah. And on the topic of cardistry being kind of competitive and how it can be beneficial to push people, we also have CardistryCon coming up 2022 in June. So this is a fun topic that I think I want to talk about a little bit too, is kind of like move of the year, deck of the year, stuff like that. So what are kind of your thoughts on some of these voting and awards?
Let's see. So the first one right now that's out is the video of the year. Very hard decisions. I'm gonna list my top 3. Think for the first category, it's like 2019, right? I think 2019. I think I got It's between two. It's between selfish and showbiz, but I think I'm leaning towards showbiz because I think there's a little bit more variety in showbiz overall.
Mm-hmm.
And then for the next category, for me, it's between above the radar and industry standard. And I think I'm leaning slightly towards above the radar. But it is very hard to say. I like both those videos pretty equally. And then for the last category, the most recent one, I actually didn't vote for this one because I was stuck. But I think if I were to vote, I would actually vote for Nathan's video. I don't know if you've seen Nathan Wu's video. I really liked that video. Every move in there, I wish I made. And, yeah.
I recently saw the video for Goose. I think it's Golden Gate. I forget what the video is called, but
yeah, I think it's called
the video
Golden
he did for
Gate
Goose Cards.
It's really good. Go check it out. I think it's super underrated. I'm surprised not a lot of people talk about it. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that kind of went, pardon the pun, but under the radar a little bit. It also is really recent as well, though. It's only been out for a couple weeks. For me, I really liked Out of Bounds by Matt Samuel. That's probably my 2019 pick. For 2020 and 2021, those are hard. But Above the Radar definitely sticks out for me.
I think that one and another one's Fluidity. Fluidity is another good one that year. In the previous year, there's so many though. Now I think about it, like there's even Arcadia. Like Arcadia by Lance was amazing. Uno, Uno came out that same con. So there's a lot of good videos. That year is very stacked. Like you got I think Ace might have even came out that year too. So you have Uno, Ace, Showbiz. Yeah, Selfish. There's a lot of stuff.
Yeah, it's really hard to keep track. I know when trying to go to vote, I went to the Cardistrytalk Discord server just to see if someone had kind of compilized them, and someone did, which was very helpful. But there's just so much, especially for 3 years, to keep track of. Do you have any decks of the years or any decks over the past 3 years you've really enjoyed? I know you tend to use aviators, but
yeah, and I don't buy a lot of decks. I mean, to be honest, I don't buy a lot of decks, but I think the decks I really like are the Missing Inks are really good. I love that deck a lot. Love how they look. The Lisk is my other favorite one. I mean, of course, I use it for the video. So, yeah, I think those two are my favorites. I don't know when they came out, but I like them.
So at the end of the show, I do what I call roll out the close-up pad. It's just my fancy way of saying, is there anything you'd like to promote or any last note you'd like to leave the audience with before we head out?
But yeah, go check out Glass Refractions and just have fun with cards. That's all I got to say.
Okay. Like always, I'll have links to Jason's stuff in the description as well as Glass Refractions. I would recommend checking it out. I don't know why you'd be watching this video if you hadn't, but if you haven't, go watch it. If you already did, go watch it again. I think you'll have a good time. Jason, thanks for taking your time to be on the show again. It was a pleasure. I hope everybody learned something, had a little bit of fun, and got to learn a little bit more about Jason and his most recent video. It's been fun, and thanks for being here.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Absolutely.